let's dive in a little bit more of this stuff here. Okay. So passive or active. You want to be primarily passive, focus on performing notes or reperforming notes. Okay. Now by performing, yes, you could go after bank notes. Yes, you could go after owner finance notes. Don't care if you're fine with that. Okay. I prefer owner finance notes with some seasoning where they've been paying on time for 6 to 12 months. They brought a down payment down. I'm getting a lot of requests. Hey, will you buy this note? And the note's not even created yet. I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy that note. I'm not going to buy an owner finance notes. It's no seasoning, no credit. I don't get that in the difference. Okay. I don't mind bank notes. I'll buy bank notes all day long. Okay. If they give me a good yield on stuff. Obviously, we've been spoiled the last couple of years of low interest rates, so it's always something to look at. If the note's written at 2% and my money it's my money, I want to make 8%. That legitimate means I can only offer 25 cents on the dollar for that note because it's got a low interest rate. So keep that in mind. Okay. No, we're not just buying notes in the last couple of years. We're looking at a variety of bank notes from multiple years, last 10 years in a lot of cases or sooner. Okay. If I'm, if I'm going to be passive, I can look at probably buying stuff with equity where I'm paying at 80% of the legal or value, whichever is less, and getting a good double-digit return. Somewhere in that 8 to 15% range. Now, if you're using your own money, you can use, and you want to be passive, you could buy short-term hard money loans or invest in some note funds. But realistically, 8 to 15% ROI, if you're going to be passive, is not unheard of. If you're wanting to get above that, you really need to be active. Okay. Because if I'm going to bring somebody on who wants to be passive and I'm doing all the active work, I'm not going to give you a 15% return for being passive. I'm going to give you an 8 to 10% return. Maybe 12 if the deal will hold. But for the most part, I'm going to give you a passive return and you're going to expect a passive. If you want an active return, you need to be active. And by actives, we mean really at 10% or greater and going that route. Okay. But if you want short term, you could invest in a hard money fund. You could buy hard money notes, that kind of stuff, and go from there. Okay. All right, great. Let's see here. If I want to be active, then performing or reperforming or non-performing notes.